Did I just find one of the best constructed 12-volt batteries on the market? I think this is a home run for EcoWorthy. Let me show you all the heavy testing I did on it. Let's get this unboxed. Got some documentation here. I've got a nice baggie of a whole assortment of different bolts and terminal covers. We've got 4 of these metal kind of L-shaped brackets. And here's the battery itself. It's 12.8 volt, 280 amp hour. Nice metal case. It does have Bluetooth. It's got these really nice recessed handles in the ends. And you can see these holes on the ends. That's where these little brackets can go and allow you to secure the battery to the ground. Perfect for like mobile applications, RVs, vans, etc. Then on this end, we've got the battery terminals, another nice handle, and an on-off switch. Peak discharge current, 220 amps for 10 seconds. Max continuous charging and discharging current is 200 amps. So this has a 200 amp BMS, which is pretty sweet. By the way, the recommended standard charge discharge current is rated at 140 amps, with the max being 200. Battery capacity test on this EcoWorthy 12 volt 280 amp hour battery. Got my trusty 12 volt charger here. You can see its light is green, fully charged. And to meter this test, we're going to be using the Victron Smart Shunt. You can see everything is zeroed out here. And a 0.2 C rate of discharge on a battery this size would be about 717 watts. You can see we're sitting at 729, 730-ish watts. So really, really close. Guys, the battery just finished. You can hear the inverter screaming. We're sitting at 10 volts. And check that out, 284.2 amp hours. That's not a surprise. Every EcoWorthy battery I've tested has always crushed the battery capacity tests. Heavy load testing on this EcoWorthy 280 amp hour battery. I've got this 3000 watt Jumpa inverter hooked up. This is hands down my favorite 12 volt inverter. I'll be sure and leave a link for it down in the description. It's so quiet and really cost effective. We're going to be monitoring the current with the Victron Smart Shunt here. Let's start out with the heat gun here. That's a little over 100 amps right there, 109, 110 now. Glowing a nice bright orange. Let's add some space heater next. Let's turn this to low heat. 167, 184, 87. Almost 200 amps right there. 2300 watts. All right, let's hit high on this heat. See what happens. 200, 236 amps, 250 amps, 273, 265. Oh, and the battery just went out. You can see the inverter screen is completely black. Our shunt has lost connection. So the battery does have overcurrent protection. Oh, and I don't know if you'd heard that, but it just did an auto restart as well, which is really fantastic to see. So let's see if we can recreate that. Because I think this battery has the perfect balance of allowing itself to provide more than it's rated for a period of time. So that way if you just have a heavy surge or just something that's starting up and then it will slowly ramp down, you don't immediately get a disconnect. But then when it detects that that load is going to be sustained, then it shuts down. So let's see if we can recreate that. So we got the heat gun glowing nice and orange, 111 amps. Add the space heater here on low. That takes us up to 187, 186. Let's now go to high. And if you watch, this amperage is going to jump up. 242, 256. Still running. 265, 250. And there it just shut off again. No power. See, our voltage is dropping. This shunt is going to shut off momentarily. There it goes. So yeah, when they say this will surge for like 10 or so seconds, they mean it. But then it does not, prolong that. It does have built-in overcurrent protection with auto restart, which I love. Now, EcoWorthy does have an app, and I love this app because you can just log in and start monitoring your battery via Bluetooth without setting up any kind of account or anything. You do need an account to monitor it via Wi-Fi, but for the Bluetooth, no need, which I absolutely love. EcoWorthy's app is quite nice. So we've got our state of charge indicator, voltage, amps in or out. We're currently charging the battery. Your total power in or out in watts, battery status, estimated remaining battery capacity left, estimated runtime remaining, but that doesn't apply because we're charging right now, and battery temperature is normal. Coming up here to the data tab, you can see very similar bits of information that we saw on that front page. But then in addition to that, we can pop this open and see our individual cell voltages. And then coming up here to notification, this will be if you have any like errors or issues like that, it will show up here. So it's a very bare bones app, but it gives you everything you need to be able to comfortably monitor your nice battery. One of the premium features of this battery is its metal case. A little more fire resistant that way. Let's take a look though inside and see how this looks. Well, not much to see. Let me take this off. This is really, really nice, you guys. Now obviously we've got these giant battery cells since it's a 280 amp hour unit. The bus bars are welded, not bolted. I know that could be a problem for some of you. It does have little relief humps here, but notice that the balance cable as well as the temperature sensor here are bolted to the bus bar. Same thing with this balance lead. All of them are bolted down to the bus bar, which is really nice to see. And then look at this. There is a metal compression plate slash cell holder on this end. It's braced with this metal piece here. And then we have another metal compression plate here on the end with a little bit of a crumple zone between the end of the battery and this metal here. So that way, if the battery gets impacted here, you've got a little bit of space before you impact the metal that's against the cells. You can see there's a crumple zone in the side, both sides actually here. There is some metal down in there, kind of bracing the cells along this side. And then there's some space up here for a crumple zone as well. Not excessive, and it's a little hard to see, but that is where the BMS is as well. And look at the balance leads, you guys. They come up here, and they're nicely zip tied underneath this metal lip here on both sides. You can see that the cell vents are unobstructed. You can see QC marks on the terminals for torque. We'll try wiggling them, make sure that they're not loose or anything. Then I love seeing the additional protection for the cable, this little white wrap. You can see that is happening on the negative cables as well. Then on top of that, they've got these little boots here to insulate the exposed parts of the terminal on the inside of the case, which is pretty deluxe. And then get this, you guys, I was trying to pull this out to see if we could see what gauge cable the positive wire was, and they have literally glued it in place. That is the first time I've ever seen a battery manufacturer do that. That's nice. It keeps the cable from moving and potentially rubbing out on something if it's in a high vibration environment, which this battery is designed to do, thanks to its little mounting things and the little brackets that come with it. So I personally think it's a brilliant idea to glue the cable in place just to keep it from rubbing on top of, their covering here. But it's a single, pretty chunky cable here, maybe 2 gauge cable for the positive. And then we have a pair of negative wires. And I don't see any writing readily visible on these. But if I were to guess, I'd say they're 2 6-gauge wires. They may be 5 gauge. Sometimes you see 5 gauge cable in batteries like this. Certainly bigger than 8 gauge, that's for sure. Oh, and look at this. They've got QC marks for these bolts that are holding the bracket in place here across the top. So very impressive build. Well, I've got this open. Let's just test low temperature charging protection. I've got this battery charger here. You can see the red light is on. We are charging. I've got the app pulled up here. You can see we're charging with 20 amps. Battery temperature is normal. No notifications at all. So let's just go ahead and hit this temperature sensor. It's cold. Oh, did you see that? We're flashing green now. It rejected charging. And in the app here, it says low temperature. And here in the notification tab, you can see it says charging low temperature protection. So it works. What about high temp protection? Oh, and there it went off. You can see there in the app, it says high temperature. It rejected the charge here. The charger just went to idle. And you can see here, it says charging over temperature protection. High and low temperature protections work on this EcoWorthy battery. I would say this is probably the best built 12-volt battery that I've torn down on the channel to date. So good job, EcoWorthy. Keep up the good work. So let's just talk a little bit about the 2 12-volt EcoWorthy batteries I have. My understanding is this one, since I tested it, got upgraded cells to 314 amp hour cells instead of just 300 amp hour cells. So you get more battery capacity doing this red plastic one versus the metal case one here. You also get kind of this cool little indicator light system, which the metal case one does not have. But the metal case one allows you to, attach the little brackets and actually secure it down physically to a surface. The plastic one does not allow you to do that. And then obviously metal is much more, flame and heat resistant versus plastic. Size-wise here, I've got them lined up here on this end. If we come over here, you can see that the metal case sticks out just a little bit, as does the terminals. But this plastic one is taller vertically than the metal case battery. And obviously the terminals are on the top here, so it's a little challenging to, stack stuff on top of this, whereas the metal case one's nice and clean. And then depth-wise here, I've got them lined up here in the back, and out here in the front, you might be able to see as I come forward that the metal case one here sticks out just a teeny bit more. And weight-wise, the metal case battery comes in at 68 pounds, 15 ounces. And the plastic higher capacity unit, as you would expect, comes in a little less, 62 pounds, 13.25 ounces. Both have a 200 amp BMS. Both have cold temperature charging protection. Both pulled over their rated capacity in my capacity tests. So I think it really boils down to mounting options and case style, plastic versus metal, and capacity. Do the extra few amp hours that you'll get with this outweigh the nice things like the metal case and stuff on this unit. To me, it seems like maybe the metal case one's a little better proposition just because I can, stack stuff on top of it. It's metal. It's going to dissipate heat better and contain, fire or anything a little better than the plastic. It's just not going to melt into a giant puddle like plastic would. And the capacity is pretty darn close, so I don't feel like I'm compromising too much on the smaller capacity for those trade-offs. But I like both batteries. Both are really, really good batteries. So I'll leave links to both of them down in the description, as well as a link to the full review video of this plastic case battery, so you can check that out as well. Then I'll just throw up side-by-side comparison here on the pricing for both of the batteries, just so you can kind of see where they come in at. So comment, please, you guys, and tell me your thoughts and observations on this battery. Why would you buy it? Why wouldn't you buy it? And what are you looking at instead of this if you wouldn't buy this? That's incredibly helpful to not only me, but those people that are coming looking for a battery to purchase. And I know your thoughts and opinions in the comments are really, really valuable to those people. So I will leave a link for it down in the description, as well as any coupon codes that I can get from EcoWorthy for you guys. I also have links down there to the different videos I mentioned, plus a place where you can book a one-on-one video consultation with me, as well as submit a guaranteed to be answered question by me. And everyone's favorite, my custom free YouTube channel search engine, where you can query your questions and it will search through all of my video titles, descriptions, and most importantly, transcriptions. So be sure and make use of all of those resources. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. Those 5 free things help just kind of nudge the YouTube algorithm to get my videos in front of more eyeballs. I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who do that on a regular basis. I also want to say a huge thank you to my channel members for your support. We've always got more epic content in the pipeline. I've got stuff running over here on the side, so don't go too far. All of you stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next time.